guys? Welcome back to Everyday Struggle with Wayno Akademiks and Nadeska. Good morning, my friends. How you feeling?
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good morning. I definitely woke up today with extra pep in my step. I couldn't wait to get on here. You know, at times you got to realize how fortunate you are despite what's going on in the world. So, you know, I woke up very fortunate today.
Good summation, academics. Good summation.
Right. That's usually academics on Monday. What's so special about today?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know.
Just trying to keep the energy up. I feel you.
Yeah. It's hard kind of getting, like, you know, super motivated when you don't really leave the house. But it's all good. You know what I mean?
Why haven't you left the house? You don't go, like, visit no family members or nothing still?
On the daily? Not really. Like, we're still, like, quarantining for my mom. Like, my brother's kind of, like, we had this whole, like, little pact. Like, yo, we had a whole system to kind of stay away from my mom. Like, we're kind of getting a little bit more like like acclimated to kind of being around her, but still like we've kind of separated and stayed away from each other. You get me? I mean, even though if you look outside, everybody outside.
Go see your mom, academics. Go see your mom.
No, we see each other. We're just not like
you stop in the driveway.
No, I saw my mom last time. Like I didn't give her a hug. Like, you know what I mean? When I left, you know what I mean? Like she made food and shit, but I didn't give her a hug because we're still trying to social distance. But I see niggas outside at the beach going crazy, okay?
Yeah, people don't care. Yeah, outside the bars in Brooklyn getting drunk. Definitely. See your mom, have some space, chill in the backyard. I think that's the perfect situation.
We ain't that rich now. That's Wayno rich.
Okay, academics. Whatever, man. All right, let's get into it.
We got a little patio. That's about it.
Yeah, keep pretending you're broke. All right, let's get into some music and some drama. So late last week, of course, 6ix9ine dropped his new single, Trollz, featuring Nicki Minaj. Before he dropped the song, he got on Instagram Live to continue his big marketing rollout, which included calling out Meek and Snoop for being snitches and also calling out Future for rapping about drugs in his music. Now, so according to 6ix9ine, Meek is allegedly a hypocrite for being signed to a management company that has an executive who became a cooperating witness for the DEA in the 90s. So Nicki did join 6ix9ine on Instagram Live and shared her thoughts on why she feels like rappers have no right to call him out for snitching. She basically says that street dudes have every right to feel the way they want to feel about snitching because they actually live that life. But she said, quote, "I feel rappers need to play it easy because everybody mingles and integrates with everybody. And if a top executive rat called one of you unsigned rappers right now to sign, you're signing." Thoughts? Does this lend some validity to 6ix9ine's argument here?
I'll kick this off, and you know I think some people are looking at this like he is kind of throwing this out to kind of like, you know, take a little bit of the heat of ratting or snitching off him. To me, I don't think that's the real intended purpose that this should really kind of go across to be about. 6ix9ine snitched. Ain't no backing it up. It just is what it is. I think we're just only discussing the hypocrisy of other people when they're just saying that they're anti-snitching and anti-snitches, when in reality, when it comes to the music business, it's very hazy. You know what I mean? Again, there's people who have cooperated that are in other positions of power, which you may work with, okay? Do you stand with their value system, their moral code, their integrity? Perhaps not, but I think when you try to put it out there like, yo, I'm going hard against this one guy, because he snitched. That's just not true. In reality, 6ix9ine is an agitator. He pisses everybody off. He also starts a lot of problems. And you probably dislike him more for that than snitching, because for everybody who's saying that they don't like snitches, like if we point out anybody who has cooperated, it gets a little gray area-ish with like, well, that's a different type of snitching. Nobody keeps really the same energy, so I can understand why you say that.
Who's ever said that that's a different type? Like, I keep hearing that being said, like, oh, well, it's not like that, it's like this. I've never heard anybody say that, though. Like, I think that's all based on assumption, because most of the people that you're talking about don't really address the shit that he's talking about. But nobody's ever said, oh, yeah, but that was different, that's different than that, because that would be all on social media everywhere if there was a person that said that was different than what he's doing.
Well, all right, great. Okay, so let me not put words in anyone's mouth. Like, I guess the hypocrisy kind of comes across here. Like, a couple weeks ago, we even talked about it, right? Like, Meek made mention that, hey, listen, a rat was the reason why Nipsey died. And when you think about it like that, in terms of wherever you're thinking on a whatever level, streets or whatever, it's like, whoa, this is a type of person, someone who snitched a rat, like, with a low moral code, someone who lacks integrity, that you should probably use your ethics to say, I'm not gonna do business or associate with. Right? Now, if I ask you if you feel that way and you feel like you gotta crush whoever for the culture because they're ratted, do you think that if you knew that your CEO ratted, you should probably disassociate? Right? Like if you're gonna keep it 100, right?
Right.
Is that a fair assumption?
Or is it a fair assumption that they should do the same? Now,
yeah, they should keep the same energy.
So the thing is like, I don't know how most of the artists that probably dealing with that situation, how they dealing. I don't know how Meek deals with her, what deals with her, has dealt with that situation. Now, I do feel like it's very eye opening when you look at the optics, like, oh shit, Desiree did such and such, and she's over there. It does look crazy. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. What I do think that the lines is getting blurred is 6ix9ine. All he's trying to do is justify the reasons why he did what he did instead of just standing on it. He's not really standing on it because all he does is complain. Every week he's talking about it more than anybody else. And maybe that's because that's the only thing he has to talk about. To me, he's not really a talented artist. He doesn't have too many things to stand on other than the fact of what's going on in his life. Now, what Nicki did say, she made a great point. I ain't gonna lie, she made a great point. But what we forget is that a lot of street niggas is rappers. And it's hard for a lot of street niggas to make that transition into being a corporate all the way rapper and not having a lot of their moral compass in hand. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you see him calling out saying shit about Future, saying shit about
I think that was
Snoop.
off base. And by the way, let me be very clear on how I stand because I don't want people to.
I know where you stand with the whole thing.
No. I don't want anyone to take like this particular conversation and then just think that I'm defended. That's not what it is.
Okay.
I think he was out of touch and really off base. And I think he should apologize to Future. I think, he feels that's something that's happening with him morally. Within himself, when people, as much as he may troll, when people say snitches or rats, he personalizes it. I seen Future's message that he was kind of reacting to when he lashed out at. Future was beefing with some niggas from his hood. Like, that's a fact. I followed that. Now, many people publicly may not know that, but I knew that. So, Future said the word rat, and all of a sudden, it's like a hit dog always hollers. He jumps out like, what? Wait, y'all talking about me? Like, okay. No, relax. So I agree with that. I agree with that.
All right, so this is what my fault. Go ahead, bro. Finish it.
The last point in terms of what you're saying is that I think this is why he's bringing it up, right? Desiree Perez is CEO of Roc Nation. Despite being known, literally, this is not even black and it's not even like some gray. She's someone who cooperated. Again, I don't have a problem with her. I'm not no street nigga. I don't really care about her, like the rad situation. I like the music element of stuff and also the business element.
Right.
She's the CEO of Roc Nation. 6ix9ine's realized he's in a position. He's getting blackballed by streaming services because he ratted. He's getting blackballed by a lot of other entities that you wouldn't associate the streets with, but because hip hop does have a foundation in the streets, he feels like, damn, why all y'all taking this stance against me when y'all have no problem with her being the CEO?
So you think this is a campaign to make changes? So when it comes to fans, like we said before, he sort of plays it off as a joke, right? He's posted cartoons about it. He seems unbothered, as you would like to say, on the internet. So whose mind is he trying to change with this campaign now? Labels and streaming services? That's what's confusing.
Look, I'm gonna keep it 100. His whole plight, his whole narrative since he came home is that everybody's mad at him. He's the most mad person there is. To me, he's the most frustrated. Every time you see him talk, I'm just keeping it 100. The nigga holds the phone this close to his face. You gotta look in his eyes, man. You gotta, no, for real. You gotta look in his eyes. He is so, you know what it is? End of the day, like, while 6ix9ine, he's bothered by what he did. I think that he's bothered by what he did more than anything. And that's the reason why he goes so hard to use, but what about them? But what about them? But what about them? Listen, just stand what you did. We in the house. Everybody's in quarantine. If he was able to go outside, and I'm pretty sure he'd be heavily guarded, I think things would be even worse for him. Not that I think somebody would attack him, but I think that the trolls that he built, while he does have a lot of fans and supporters, there is a little white kids that's gonna want to fuck with him just cause. And I think that in his heart, he know he cannot look in a fucking mirror. That's what's hurting him the most. So yeah, Desiree ratted. or whatever she told, whatever the case may be. Do I condone it? No, I don't do any business over there. So that's not for me to speak. I don't do no business over there. Only thing I say is that he got to stop trying to use everything else to make himself comfortable about something that he ultimately is not, and he tries to pretend. All them cars, all that dumbass jewelry that look like it's choking him every time he get on Instagram Live. He's using all of that as a coping mechanism to deal with what he did because he's not man enough to stand himself. That's his biggest problem.
Wait, I think you make a solid point. What I will agree with you on, remember prior to him coming out, I made a prediction that, based on the conversations I had with him, I was like, yo, he might just come out and change and really go a different direction.
Right.
Might just go to pop rock. I do believe that, I've heard this term being used in regards to him. 6ix9ine definitely wants to be at the cool table. He wants to be at the
exactly.
He wants to be in the mix. He definitely wants to be in the mix, okay? Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to come home and just kind of seem like, okay, he's successful, but he's the weirdo other guy.
Who does he want to be at the cool table with? So obviously Nicki has his back. We know that Akon supports him as well. He's attacking Drake, Meek, Future. Who does he actually want to be at the cool table with? Does he want respect from Meek? Is that what's going to make him feel good? Because it's not going to happen.
I think he wants to be in the mix with the entirety of hip-hop. He wants to be in those conversations. And when you get ostracized and people just like you're an afterthought because they just chalk you up as something else instead of being just a hip hop artist, it kind of hurts a little bit, Like it's just like the artists that sell a lot, it's like the Navs of the world. Truth be told,
come on, don't do that to Nav. Don't do that to Nav.
No. Whoa,
come on,
and I'm not signaling even like Russ. Russ had that little thing, but this is far worse. So I'm being honest. What I mean is that you have artists that sell, but then they're mad that they're not in a conversation when we talk about best rappers.
Yeah, I just wouldn't compare.
Or they have a huge fan base, but when we're talking about albums of the year or impact, we don't even discuss them. I think he wants to be in that impact conversation, just not the numbers.
But do you think he then regrets the way he handled this? Like when you said he would come out of prison and change, I don't think anyone thought that was really going to happen. But things might have been different. Maybe eventually people would have sympathy. But if you keep poking, especially at a lot of our favorite artists, I don't understand how that helps in the long run.
I don't think that he ever, and when Axe said it the first time, I said it. I believe that he was going to do exactly what he did, right? Mm-hmm. And that's only because there's nothing else for him to do. The only way this young man, no, for real, the only way he's thrived in his entire career over the past 3 years is by controversy and beefing with people, right? Beefing with people. If he does not have that in Act, you said it mad times. If nobody pays this nigga no attention, if nobody says nothing to him, then he has to switch. He has to switch what he's talking about. The thing about it is, it's bothering him. It is bothering him. He hides behind that girl. He's hiding behind them wigs. He's doing anything he can to be seen, and he's bleeding it on the social media. That shit is bleeding everywhere. It's bothering him, and he's just trying to find anything that he. Even with Nicki, I think that him and Nicki's relationship is genuine. I feel like Nicki sees how she can capitalize off the situation. They make records together that boom. Of course, every record this nigga does is gonna be the biggest record because he's the biggest story.
I do want to talk about the music in a second. If you want to give your final thoughts,
so as Nadeska was like, yo, like why is he trying to do that? Is he doing for fan sympathy or whatever? The reason is that Nicki was. Mad artists want to work with him. He is someone, if you work with, you'll make a lot of money. But there's still that shame, right? So I guess he wants to kind of equalize it by saying, hey, listen, you guys do business with rats, and you guys don't have a problem with it. By the way, I also want to put out there, despite anything about Desiree Perez, I do not think, like that whole thought, that's what, I just think it's just dumb. Meek Mill is not a rat. Jay-Z's not a rat. Not because they fucking do business with Desiree Perez. It's a music business, at least for me. Everybody else with the super tough guy shit, I get what y'all doing. I know where y'all from, understood. But that's what my whole thing is, that let's sometimes take the edge off it. Like, we're doing music and business here, right? You're not going home with this person. You're not validating everything they've done in life. So sometimes you're doing just business, right? And I'm pretty sure Jay-Z, when he hired Desiree to be the CEO of the company, it's not like, oh man, you were a great snitch. No, it's about like business. Yo, I think you can run my company. You can make me some money. And I'm sure, Meek Mill, he just signed Dream Chasers Records to Rock Nation. He probably said, yo, you guys can help me get certain places in terms of helping me be an executive. These aren't moral decisions. So I understand why 6ix9ine is bringing it up, but I don't also want to impugn the integrity of other people. And that's why I just feel like when, he has to do it because he's trying to say, yo, don't get mad at Nicki when y'all work with rats too. I just don't look at things like that. But he has to bear the cross that he wore to get to the position he's at. So you can't you can't have sympathy for him.
Okay. All right. So he's only been home for a few weeks at this point. Let's see how long he continues with this campaign. I don't think you can harp on the same thing forever. So let's talk about the actual music then. For Hit Brick or Wait on It, we're going to start with 6ix9ine and Nicki Minaj, Trollz. So we know this is his second single since he's been home. The video alone did about 46 million views in less than 24 hours. At the moment, it's probably over 90 million. But can we talk about the actual quality of this song?
This is where...
Wait a minute,
Akademiks.
Colorful hair, don't care.
You're my guy. I love you, but stop playing with me like that, okay? But look. This is where numbers lie. This is where I feel like numbers lie because the optics. Of course, the optics, the numbers, biggest debut hip hop ever, crazy. The song is not good. It's not a good record. It's that simple. It's not a good record. Why I didn't like Gooba either. I don't even think it lives up to the energy that Gooba pretty much had. Now, presentation, top notch. You know what I'm saying? The rollout was amazing. The presentation is top notch. But Brick Hit or Wait on It, it's a brick, but it looks like a hit.
I'm gonna go with to Wayno's point. Or are we talking about what the numbers are gonna seem to be, or are we talking about the quality of the song? If we're going with the quality of the song. I told 6ix9ine when I first heard it in its totality before it came out, I said, this is terrible. I think Nicki being on the song was like, yo, they did Fifi together, great. And, I think Nicki really tried to go off and make the song her own. I just don't think this is a hit record. And, in all the BS, and I'm watching this very closely, and all the BS that happened last time around, season 1, he always had that super hot song, like that was super catchy. This one felt like it kind of missed the mark, and I really just think that this is being sold off hype. If it debuts at number 1, which I don't think it will, it's only being sold off hype. The video and hype, which goes to show you get 6ix9ine with actually someone who can make some hot music. Or if he could, I don't know if the essence of the music changes because he can't rap about Treyway, this and third. But if he makes an actual hot song, it'll go number 1 because this shit is just garbage. I didn't like it.
Hey, Nadeska, let the record show that there's versions of DJ Akademiks. The everyday struggle version of DJ Akademiks don't really fuck with 6ix9ine like that. The blog does. The blog fuck with 6ix9ine. And
no. This is the measured balanced version of Akademiks.
No. I keep the same energy. You see, we didn't say. Nadeska prefaced this conversation and say, let's talk about the quality of the song.
Right. I'm fucking with you.
Y'all know me. I love talking about records and numbers. We could talk about it all day. Like, I think it's utterly ridiculous that for 2 videos in a row he's broken the YouTube record. I'm looking at Drake to say, Drake, you ain't gonna break it. You ain't gonna take that shit back. But it's not about numbers at this point. It's about, is that song good?
But how much quality is judged off of numbers nowadays? That's the problem. So it makes me look in totality how a lot of, now not everybody, but I'm just saying in totality how a lot of things go. A lot of things are really presented correctly, but it ain't it. So.
Well, historically speaking, for this segment, I would like to say I think you guys do a good job of talking about the quality and the numbers. So it's the first time I think I've heard you say it's a brick that looks like a hit. So let's keep it at that. And let's talk about a couple more songs quickly. Pop Smoke featuring Rowdy, Rebel, Make It Rain. So this is the first single off Pop Smoke's posthumous album, Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon. We don't have to call this a hit or a brick. Just general thoughts on this.
I call it a hit, man. It's hard. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. It's hard for me. I don't really turn on Pop Smoke's music myself because it's hard for me to turn it on. It makes me think about him. But every time I turn on the radio and I hear him, all I think about is how this summer in New York would have been. How if Pop was still here, how the protesters would have been turned up. You know what I mean? Just how the streets would have been looking if Pop was here. And this is a hit. You know, I will say that this is a hit. But unfortunate that we don't got this brother with us to celebrate it.
Absolutely, this is a hit. I'm gonna be honest with you, as you know, and very unfortunate too. But I've gotten into Pop's music just way more after he's passed away, unfortunately. And you know, I remember giving this opinion on Everyday Struggle prior, and I was like, you know what? He's kind of running that drill wave right now, but we really have to see what it materializes into, because I've always just kind of like categorized that as like, yo, that's like a nice little niche. But truth be told, man, like just kind of watching many videos of him, just kind of listen to his presence on songs, and just kind of seeing what he was embodying. Like, yeah, this was a star, 100%. He was definitely a star, and it gets sadder when you realize that. But this was a hit. You know, I think it was a perfect choice to put Rowdy Rebel on a record. I see a couple people say, yo, why not Bobby? Listen, Bobby's great. Bobby's cool. Bobby will be coming home along with Rowdy Rebel this year. But I think Rowdy gave that energy. Over the jail phone, I think that was turned up. I think this is a great record. And, you know, for me, I'll call myself a new Pop fan in terms of, like, not just, like, a Dior or, like, Welcome to the Party or Gotti or, you know, Shake the Room. Like, those other, like, you know, those cut joints. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the not mainstream singles. I think I'm excited for his album. But everything he's producing or his estate, salute to Steven Victor, it's heat. This is vibe.
Yeah.
God, you guys like this record. Finally, some good music. Last one, Lil Keed featuring Gunna, Fox 5.
This record, I thought was cool. Like, I don't know if we're getting to that other record, but well, there's two more other records that came out this weekend, but in reality, this particular record, Gunna and Lil Keed, I thought it was cool. It's a little bit minor league for me. You know, I love Keed, I love Gunna, but you know, on the weekend where you get a Pop Smoke record, you also get the bigger picture by Baby. You know, very heavyweight singles. I'm not gonna say this song with Keed and Gunna is a brick, but I'll say wait on it.
Yeah, I say wait on it as well. I mean, I think Keed is, you know, on that path where Gunna was like about a year and a half ago. I think he's gonna be one of the next guys. You know, people respect him, but I say wait on it. This got tons of hit potential though, bro.
Okay, tons of hit potential. All right, we'll end with this story. Today's big facts or BS, courtesy of Blueface, who says the 2019 XXL Freshman Class was the best ever. Big facts or BS? I can refresh your memory with the names if you like. Tira Wack, Rico, Megan, Gunna, Blueface, Roddy Ricch, The Baby, YBN, Cordelo, Mosey, YK Osiris, and Comethazine.
I'll say that it's partially BS only because it's very early, but this class has aged very well. I was looking over a lot of the classes, and I think, like, you know, I know we've been trying to have our own like XXL Freshman Class conversation. This like. It's only really 6 out of 10 that really becomes something. It's like really, it's usually 6 out of 10. Some of them was like 4 out of 10. But this class like really did well. It's like even when we look at Lil Mosey, like a lot of people was like, who the hell is this kid? And now he has like, he's charting, he's doing really well. His music has grown since then to now. So I think like, you know, I don't know. I don't think it's the best at the moment, but it could potentially be the best. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Even though I think Blueface is tweaking. And by the way, you know, I love Blueface, but I think he's kind of like, you know, harping and relying on the fact that other members of the class is doing really well and excelling. Like, for example, Roddy Ricch, bona fide star. Probably someone who, if, you know, we teased that conversation of maybe a possible new top 3 who would be eligible. And by the way, the top 3 that would run shit for the next 10 years. Roddy Ricch, I think it's definitely in that conversation. You got to look at YB Cordae, Grammy. He won a Grammy, correct? Or was he
nominated? He was nominated, yeah.
But still, like, you know, did really major things. He's about to gear up to come back again. I think people realize that he's going to be a voice. And even during times like this where you see him on the steps of Capitol Hill, like, you know, even when he was younger kind of rapping, you know that Cordae is going to be around 100%. You know, Gunna, of course, like one of the leaders right now, too, in music. I wish Baby was on this particular list, but he wasn't. And I'm talking about Lil Baby. No, Lil Baby. The Baby was on it. You know, Baby's proven himself that he could kind of hang with anyone. And Meg Thee Stallion, I think she's kind of my critiques of her in terms of like, yo, okay, great, we see the social hype about you, but are you performing? She's definitely outperformed that. She has had a #1 record. And Lil Mosey, he was a nigga who's about to get left back, and he definitely just scored an A. I don't know if he cheated.
He always got to give a backhanded compliment. But I mean, three of the artists had #1 records on it. Like, three artists on there had #1 records.
I think it's probably one of the top 3 or 4 classes. I don't think it tops 2011, 2013, or 2016.
What about 2010? Even 2010, we got to bring up 2010. That's Nipsey, Wiz Khalifa, Big Sean, J. Cole.
Okay.
J-Rock is on there. Freddie Gibbs. That was a hell of a class.
Okay, so 2011 is the one that had Kendrick, correct?
Kendrick and Meek and that is only like 3 on that cover that really turned into.
Exactly. I think also 2019 was a breath of fresh air because 2018 is one of the worst classes of all time. I got to be honest with you. I think there's like literally like 2 artists that we still even give 2 fucks about, and it's kind of Trippie Redd and JID. Like everybody else, no disrespect to Pump and Perp and all those guys. Things have looked a little bit different. So I would say that, I understand why Blueface is saying that. I wish if this was Rowdy making this point, I get it. But Blueface, I think I'll acknowledge that Blueface is taking a couple steps back. And this is the usual lean on your class to still show that we're good. No, Blueface, what about you, brother?
I feel that, but Blueface did, and I'm not the leader of the Blueface fan page. You know what I'm saying?
They called you.
No, he didn't. But what I will say is that Blueface did have a hell of a start. Like Tatiana ran at least a good 7 months out of last year.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying?
And listen, I love Blueface, but I can't that song is so fucking old now. Like we need new things.
Damn,
okay?
that song is old.
I'm serious, yo. It's no because that's why we get.
I got you. Devil's advocate, right? Blueberry Faygo was last year. That song came out last year. It's now. Yeah, Blueberry Faygo came out last year.
Okay.
It's now gaining its momentum on streams and on radio. So it's like sometimes you got to give credit where it's due. Listen, you was one of the biggest campaigners for Blueface, so I don't be getting a lot of it when it comes to music.
Yeah, no, I fuck with Blueface, but don't ever think that I'm the guy who because I fuck with you have like this hall pass to like not do shit. I think Blueface needs a record. I think Blueface disappointed with the album, and I think Blueface needs to realize this whole thing of not taking music serious is cool until you don't have a song.
Well, at least one out of your 2 picks was great, and Roddy Ricch is the one that you really poured your heart and soul out over. So that was a great bet. That was a great bet. They announced the BET Award nominations. The award show's coming up on the 28th. So Drake, Roddy Ricch, and Megan are leading. Roddy Ricch and Megan have about 5 nominations each, so they're definitely doing well, holding it down for that class, which is really dope. We could talk some more about those tomorrow.
I got something to say because Uzi's left out of the conversation.
Yeah. I want to open this conversation because the BET Awards is trying to get away with highway robbery and anything because we're in quarantine and we have bigger social issues going on that we won't realize that Lil Uzi Vert and my man NBA Youngboy was not even acknowledged, like they don't exist, like they don't make rap music. The disgusting, overt, just ignoring my guys, that won't happen. Not on my watch. So and I'm gonna get on my I'm gonna get on my Travis. Like I'm gonna stop the Travis dick riding tomorrow from everybody because there was dick riding putting Travis on that list. Like Travis.
All right, thanks for the notice. At least I know it's coming tomorrow. Goodness. Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you.
Travis got watched on his own EP, Jack Boys. Don't ever forget.
I thought you were gonna save it for tomorrow. Relax, guys. Thank you for watching.
Let's do it tomorrow.
Everyday Struggle. Akademiks is clearly gonna be on one. We'll see you here tomorrow on Complex.
Peace.
Who's Yami are mad? Okay. All our friends are mad. Okay.
All our friends.